Hi, everybody. There will be a brief swearing-in ceremony for elected officials prior to commencement of the council meeting. That'll take place right now.
Okay.
Elected officials, have your place. Take your place.
No swearing.
No swearing at your swearing.
And that'll be this side right here, obviously. You're starting, John,
That's
so it's your
what
call.
everyone's
You want
doing.
city to hear, though,
That's
to be
nice.
shown, so, you know what I mean?
Hence the suit and tie.
Amy's directing. I love it.
I'm going to stay a little bit over here so I don't get in the way of the pictures, okay? If you would, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Having been elected to the office of alderperson in the city of De Pere, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Wisconsin, and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
Is it done?
All right.
That's it?
Mayor, their name tags in.
Thank you and congratulations. Now get back to work,
Yours
everybody.
not up. Yours is up, but the others aren't up.
Enjoy that short reprieve.
The
Josh.
name tags
You're
are
good.
not up for those individuals.
Oh, because we had like,
I state your name.
Name tags.
What?
Name tags.
Jonathan.
Oh, your name,
Oh,
Mayor.
badges.
I apologize.
Oh, and mine.
Yes, all the way along the line.
No, you don't have to put yours up.
The whole side.
We all know who you are.
That is my fault. I apologize. Got ready for license, but not council.
No need at all. Congratulations again, everybody. At this time, we'll call to order the regular meeting of Common Council. This is April 15th, 2025. Carrie, roll, please.
Alderperson Carpenter.
Here.
Essercon.
Here.
Gantz.
here,
Hanson.
Here.
Cuniger.
Here.
Ledvina.
Here.
P-Rock.
Here.
Quigley.
Here.
And Mayor Boyd.
I am here, thank you. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Item 3, approval of the minutes of the April 2nd, 2025 Common Council meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? Seeing there are none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Item 4, public hearing to act on a request for a zoning map amendment at 2005 Commerce Drive. Will the clerk please read the notice of the public hearing?
The notice was published in the Press Times on March 28th and April 4th, 2025.
Thank you. Staff recommendation. Dan Lindstrom, I know you're out there.
Thank you, Mayor. This request is a city-driven request to rezone one of our business park properties that has been slated for the future location of the yard waste transfer station from its current location at the terminus of Commerce Drive and Rockland Road. Smaller site meant to be utilized as a yard waste transfer station, not a compost site. But as a result of those discussions, Plan Commission unanimously recommended approval from the rezoning from industrial to the public and institutional category.
Thank you very much. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. Anyone in person or virtually would like to speak on this public hearing, item 4, now is your time. Anyone in person, if so, just go to the table up front. Anyone virtual, just state your name. For the second time, while the public hearing's open on item 4, this is your time to speak. If so, just state your name. For the third and final time, the public hearing's open on the request for a zoning map amendment at 2005 Commerce Drive. Now's your time to speak. At this time, I will close the public hearing, go back to regular session, and would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, Scott, I had a constituent contact me with concerns about the shift from the yardway site, from a compost site to a yardway site. Can you talk about what, if any, composting we do right now at that site, and what, if anything, might change with this new site?
Very little will change. Right now, our existing site, we do produce maybe very minimal compost. We're allowed to permit so many yards of yard waste on site before we have to haul it off within 30 days. We do turn some piles that does produce compost, but typically we haul everything off to, farmers or dispose of it. Our wood chipping and everything, we tub grind that, and that actually, majority of that gets hauled off. We actually sell for like $1 a yard because the piles are so big, and then the actual, rest of it's put out to the residents. So what they're seeing, other than the smaller site, the operations itself you won't see much difference from moving to that location to the one that's off Commerce Drive.
Thank you.
Here,
Thank you.
they're trying to like my stuff.
If there's someone out there virtually, if you could just mute your microphone, that would be great. I can't quite see who's. Are we good now? Looks like the name is. Can you read that name? Evelyn?
Emmeline.
Emmeline.
Emmeline? There's an Emmeline out there. If you'd mute your mic, please. Thank you. Anyone else have any comments, discussion on this item on the agenda? Bless you. Bless you.
Snuck up on me.
And a lot of bless yous. Seeing there are no more, I believe this is a roll call vote. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Fundiger.
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 5, public hearing on act on a request for a conditional use for fabrication and production, high impact, at 1776 West Matthew Drive. Will the clerk please read the notice of the public hearing?
The public hearing notice was published in the Press Times on March 28th and April 4th, 2025.
Thank you. Recommendation from Plan Commission. Dan?
Thank you, Mayor. The item in front of you tonight is a conditional use for under the fabrication and production high impact category. At the Plan Commission meeting, staff presented the request from the applicant to use the facility formerly known as Wisconsin Lift Truck and/or Walter for a production of chemical blending specifically for food plant activity, chemical sanitation, and other products used in the, I guess you'd say, the food industry and the farmer and dairy industry. So as a result, because it does involve blending of chemicals, it technically meets the definition of a high-impact use. There are many other high-impact users that are more impactful, but in this case, because it does deal with those chemicals, it does fall into that high-impact category. As a result, the conditional use permit situation arises in which the applicants have to go through the review criteria and standards. And so in your packet, you will see the standards that are established in the zoning code as well as the petitioner's responses. The Plan Commission heard from staff, heard from the applicant. At this time, I'm not aware of any calls received to our office regarding this request. All high-impact users have to be outside of 1,000 feet from any schools, churches, playgrounds, and other recreational facilities, and this site does meet those requirements. So as a result, Plan Commission heard from staff, heard the conditions that would be attached to this conditional use permit, as well as the letter of intent submitted by the applicant that would be attached to the conditional use application, and as a result, recommended approval of the request. And for one additional point of clarification, we do have an additional chemical blending facility within the immediate surrounding vicinity of this one, and staff took a look at complaints or concerns coming from that facility, and we do not have any at this time.
Thank you very much, and thanks for that. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. If anyone wants to speak on this item on the agenda, item 5, now is your time. If in person, just raise your hand or go to the front table. If virtually, just state your name. For the second time, while the public hearing's open, if you want to speak, now is your time. For the third and final time, while the public hearing is open on this item on the agenda, now's your time to speak. All right, seeing there is no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed and would entertain a motion. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson
Dan?
Gantz. Discussion or comments?
Tricky.
Sounds very, very similar, by the way, tonight. All right, it seems there are none. That said, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Essercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Kundiger,
Aye.
Ledvina. Aye. P-Rock.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
That motion carries. Thank you. And that passes. Thanks for coming in. Item 6, public comment upon matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Common Council. Anyone in person or virtually have any public comments upon matters not on the agenda, now's your time to speak. Anyone here have anything? Anyone in virtual land, any public comment upon matters not on the agenda? Just state your name. For the third and final time, any public comment upon matters not on the agenda, now is your time. All right, very good. Let's go to number 7. Item 7, recommendation from Finance Personnel Committee to use state FAP funding for the fire department to purchase boat engines and associated work from Dave's Sport and Marine in the amount of $39,846.38.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Kundiger, seconded by Alderperson Gantz.
Dan?
Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we can get some clarification on the balance in this program. It sounds like we got $156,673 this year, which is well above what we typically get from the state. Have we utilized any of that funding for anything else at this time, or will there still be, over $100,000 if this is approved?
Great question, Mr. Hanson. I was just surprised as much as you were when we were able to receive those funds this year.
Yeah.
And it was an epidemic that went throughout the state. A lot of other fire departments couldn't believe it either when that money fell into their lap. And at this time, that's a great question. We're set pretty well. I mean, the council has given we just bought some new stair chairs. We just bought some other equipment for the EMS side of things, some Lucas machines, and we're sitting right where we need to be from an efficiency standpoint and an equipment standpoint based on what we've already acquired. So it would have been great to get this a year or two ago when we bought those things, but you're looking at a difference there. Normally, you're running around $9,000 to $10,000, and all of a sudden, $150,000 gets allocated to your department. That's something you don't expect. It's quite a windfall.
So do we have to use the remaining amount by the end of this year, or we lose it, or?
Nope, that's a fund that continues to roll.
Okay, good. All right, thank you.
We had the $60,000 for the boat engine actually in capital for next year, but we've already taken that out.
Okay,
And we were able to get this as part of that.
awesome.
Very good news.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Very good news. Other questions, comments on this item on the agenda? All right, seeing there are no more, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Kundiger,
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Go
Thank
get
you.
that boat engine. You are welcome. Item 8, recommendation from the Board of Public Works to reject all bids for 9th Street Tower Cleaning and Overcoating Project.
I'll make a motion to reject the bid.
And I'll second it.
Motion by Alderperson Ledvina, seconded by Alderperson Carpenter. Discussion or comments? All right, seeing there are none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries, thank you. Item 9, recommendation from the Board of Public Works on award of contract 2502, Northeast Street Reconstruction and Utility Relay to Kruczek Construction in the amount of $1,565,565. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Hanson. Discussion or comments? All right, seeing there are none, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Hanson,
Aye.
Kundiger,
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 10, recommendation from the Board of Public Works on award of contract 2505, sidewalk and curb repairs to highway landscapers in the amount of $474,280.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Quigley. Discussion or comments? All right, seeing there are none, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Cuniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter,
Aye.
Essercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 11, recommendation from the Board of Public Works to select cost share option as sidewalk alternative for Main Avenue between 7th Street and 6th Street.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by me. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Carpenter, we'll go there first.
Scott, weren't you supposed to bring us some stuff, more information from?
So at our board meeting, just to kind of update the, everybody else at the council, the board had kind of discussion regarding it. Bear with me, I'm trying to figure out which one of had this further discussion why the DOT is proposing what they are with a second option. So what I have on your screen here is kind of show two options. The original sidewalk you see in red has been eliminated as approved by the board and council as part of the DOT project. The blue ray here is actually the sidewalk they're proposing to replace as part of the Main Avenue project. So what occurred when the DOT proposed with the sidewalk here, they further evaluated the crossing. This is Reed Street here. This is the existing crossing that comes. They further evaluated the need for improvements at this, because one of the things the board wanted to know was what were the warrants that actually led into coming up with this option. What the DOT did tell me, which did check into it, they can go with just the blue, what you see here, an existing sidewalk, don't do any improvements. But several things occurred when they actually reviewed this crossing right here. One of the warrants was the actually existing crossing actually only has, by federal railroad standards, only has a signal on one side of the tracks. So one of the things they're proposing as part of the improvements, which you have right here, is actually creating a more of a perpendicular crossing. And I'm actually going to pull up something else they provided me. Just bear with me. So what they're showing is the existing signal only has one signal, which would be on the very east side of the tracks. So one of the things the railroad's looking at, it really should have a signal on both sides of the track. The other thing the DOT, they evaluated when they had their public informational meetings, some of the concerns that was brought up by several people that attended these meetings was a concern for the safety. And we all know there was a tragic accident that did occur at this location, which actually had them further evaluate, was there any needs to actually for improvement. Now, they did tell me, I couldn't get a 3D, that was one of the questions that were asked. This crossing that you see before you, it won't have crossing arms that come down like a car does on, say, at Grant Street. It's just going to have a signal, so anybody could still potentially cross the tracks there and, you know, try to beat a train. On the particular existing, it's actually straight through at a skewed angle. One of the things the crossing they're proposing makes it more of a 90-degree angle. I guess for standards for a bike crossing across the railroad tracks, it should be more perpendicular to the crossing. That was another warrant they were looking at. And then the other thing is, you know, one of the major costs things that the city would share with the state is the fact that they actually have to make this crossing here. If they do any improvements, you can see kind of the S-curve. It has to meet ADA standards for slope on it. So to actually, you know, to bring that into perpendicular and have ADA slope standards, the length of that trail rebuilding was actually create larger than just utilizing the existing crossing, which adds to the cost. Now, the $150,000 that we're proposing for add to the project, the state's matching that $150,000 and building the trail. And then actually the other thing is the railroad's picking up some of the costs. Another question that was talked at the board was, you know, will the railroad company or railroad CNN make the city eventually do something? So if we didn't do anything, there's potential the OCR could come back and say to the city, we have to improve this crossing. This is what we need to do. And then 100% of that is going to be on the city that the DOT is proposing a cost share at a later date. So the railroad may have some costs, but that could come down and actually, be mandated down the road. Right now, trying to incorporate it into the project, the city does get some cost sharing involved. Another question was asked was the timing. The issue with this, our team actually did not get notified this till probably late February, early part of March. It was too late to bring to the board for a discussion, because one of the concerns the board had was the actual, they want to know right now. I mean, I actually did follow up with the DOT. They wanted actually to know by next week what to do. And the reason for that, they got to keep moving with their process in order to to get everything designed so they can actually go to construction in 2028. I believe that was majority of the questions that the board had asked at that time. So what you see right here is an updated rendering. I got it from some of the questions. I have been going back and forth with the DOT, trying to get clarification what the board wanted me to do. This was not presented with the board. What you kind of see right here is kind of a more blown up what you would see as far as if we do move forward with the project, what type of a crossing it would have. I do have to point out to the board and the council is that even though with these improvements, it doesn't stop anybody from actually trying to beat a train or get through it. So, I mean, potentially you could have a tragic accident and somebody wanted to beat the train. So this does not resolve that issue that happened a couple years back.
Thank you. Quick clarification, OCR, Office of Commissioner.
Of Railroad.
Railroad.
Correct.
That's the state level, and obviously they have
State and federal level.
pretty powerful control over
Correct.
the railroads, which we have no say over. All right, he presented some stuff. We do have a motion in a second, correct? Alderperson Carpenter, you started?
I'm good.
You good? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, I want to thank DOT for taking a look at this, especially the project manager, Joshua Lang. I do think these improvements will help the safety at this location, and I think the cost share is fair. You look at DOT would be funding 57% of it, 430,000. Railroad would be covering 180,000, 24%, and then our 150,000 share would be 20%. As Scott mentioned, if we did this, at a future date, past this State Highway 32 project, I think it's almost certainly DOT would not be involved at all. So they wouldn't be picking up slightly more than half the cost, and we have no assurances the railroad would even cover 24% like they're offering this time. So I think now's the time to move forward with it. So.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? Yes, we do appreciate you getting the responses from the DOT, because that's what we had requested, and this is what we have. So I also agree, and I'm not sure if I'm speaking on behalf of everybody, but it sounds like the Public Works Committee is kind of in unison on this, that we have our questions answered regarding what we wanted regarding this project.
Yep.
Alderperson Ledvina, same thing?
Yep, I agree.
Okay. Other questions or comments? All right, seeing there are no more, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter,
Aye.
Estercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Condiger.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 12, recommendation from the Board of Public Works for temporary repairs to Rockland Road. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
So at Board of Public Works, I did grudgingly go along with this. It is in my district. I understand not spending $40,000 if we don't have to, just to resurface a road for 2 years, since it is going to be reconstructed in 2027. If the condition really deteriorates, within the next year or so, I might ask that we revisit this. But for now, I'm willing to try this, see if we can get through the next 2 years. So.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? Alderperson Carpenter.
So if I heard the motion right, it's a motion to approve option 2 as recommended.
I believe, I can't, I'm like offline right now, but I'm,
I just want to make sure,
Posting rough road and
Posting
signs
rough
and filling
road.
potholes with
yeah,
gravel.
I just want to make sure the motion was correct.
yep, you are correct. And that, you understand as well too, right?
Yeah, I understand.
Yep, yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Other questions or comments? All right, seeing there are no more, all those in favor,
Yep.
say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 13, recommendation from License Committee on an application for change of agent for De Pere Cultural Foundation, Mulva Cultural Center, 221 South Broadway.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Seeing there are none, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 14, recommendation from the License Committee on an application for a Class A fermented malt beverage and Class A intoxicating liquor license for AANR LLC, Broadway BP, 302 North Broadway, agent Devondra Tawari, Abrams, Wisconsin.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? Seeing there are none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Item 15, Ordinance 2505, amending Chapter 150, DPMC Municipal Code regarding traffic and vehicles.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Ledvinda, seconded by Alderperson Carpenter. Discussion or comments? Anyone need any information regarding that? You're all good? All right. That said, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter,
Aye.
Essercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Condiger,
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 16, Resolution 2539, authorizing consultant agreement with Tweet-Garot Mechanical for air conditioning replacement at the community center.
Move to approve. I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson P-Rock, seconded by Alderperson Quigley. Discussion or comments? Seeing there is none, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter,
Aye.
Essercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Condiger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 17, Resolution 2540, authorizing transfer of $8,672.01 from unassigned reserves for water heater replacement at the community center.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson P-Rock, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? All right, seeing there are none, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Alderperson Carpenter,
Aye.
Essercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Condiger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 18, Resolution 2541, authorizing third extension of the lease agreement with Brown County Ice Management. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Ledvinda. Discussion or comments? All right, seems they're all good. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Carpenter,
Aye.
Essercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Condiger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 19, Resolution 2542, approving operation and maintenance assistance agreement with Carrico Aquatics.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? All right. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Essercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Condiger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 20, Resolution 2543, authorizing sponsorship agreement with Fox Communities Credit Union for the Holiday Light Event at Voyageur Park, 2025 through 2027.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, motion by Alderperson Cuniger, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. My apologies. Discussion or comments?
He does have a cold. I can see how you.
It's something. Obviously, a big thank you to Fox Communities Credit Union for their sponsorship of the Holiday Light event. That said, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Condiger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter,
Aye.
Essercon.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 21, Resolution 2544, approving ATM site location agreement with Convenient ATM Services.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by Alderperson Ledvinda. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Can staff clarify the cost for this? I didn't see anything about that in the packet.
Marty.
I almost made it through all my items without a question.
I know you did.
There is no cost for the city. There is no revenue that comes back to us. We're doing it for the service, for the convenience of people that come to beer gardens and other special events.
And then the company gets like a surcharge?
Correct.
Yep. Okay.
Do you want to know what the surcharge is? Is the surcharge just the basic $1.50 or $1.50 or?
probably.
Do you know that or not?
Not off the top of my head.
Wow. Huh. Not a good finish, Marty. Other questions or comments?
There's nobody at $1.50 anymore.
All right, seeing there are no more, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Hanson.
Aye.
Conager.
Aye.
Ledvinner.
Aye.
Pirock.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Estercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Thank you, Marty. Item 22, Resolution 2545, authorizing contractor agreement with Faith Leak Detection Services, LLC, 2025 hydrant painting.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Ledvinda, seconded by Alderperson Pirock. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Carpenter.
Scott, I assume they have, like if it's real windy, they can't do this project or anything. I noticed a company doing it in another community today. It's really windy. I don't know how they're progressing, so I was just curious. You have guidelines in there? I didn't read enough of it.
We have a deadline. We have a deadline when it had to be due. It was up to the contractor. They had to give us a start time and then a completion time, but we had to have it done by, I believe it was end of October.
But my question was, again, do we have, do you allow them to go out there painting when you got 35-mile-an-hour winds and everything?
Can you repeat that?
Do you allow them to go out painting when you have 35-mile-an-hour winds and that? I just,
They're required to protect, we have in the proposal, the contract, protect stuff. Some, we did it 10 years ago, you get the overspray. So, I mean, if they don't protect their work and it got windy, that would be on them. They'd be liable for any damages. So I don't have, specifics as far as, weather conditions, that sort of thing, what they are required to protect.
so I guess the other question would be, do they check in every day that they're in this town, or they just start their project and they don't check in? And
They're supposed to work with staff, correct?
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? All right, seeing there are no more, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Conager.
Aye.
Ledvinner.
Aye.
Pirock.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Estercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 23, Resolution 2546, authorizing installment payments of sidewalk repair or replacement expenses in excess of $1,000 ordered under Wisconsin Statute 66.0907.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Quigley, seconded by Alderperson Ledvinda. Discussion or comments? Seeing there are none, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Ledvinner.
Aye.
Pirock.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Estercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Conager.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 24, Resolution 2547, ordering installation of sidewalks at various locations for 2026.
Move to approve.
I'll second. Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by me. Discussion or comments? We have none. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Pirock.
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Estercon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Conager.
Aye.
Ledvinner.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 25, Resolution 2548, authorizing agreement for consulting services with Avinion Geographic Information Systems Upgrade. It's a tough word for me to say. What can I say? I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Conager. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Well, since we have Kristen here, I
Yeah,
guess I'll ask.
Good for you.
Kristen, just wondering if you can talk about additional features or upgrades that we're going to see on the GIS system with this contract? Is there going to be like additional layers on the map or?
Yeah, so the big part of this project is back-end work, just for some typical upgrades, just to be more in line with the recommendations of today, to have our back-end system well prepared for the future. But on the front end, and what the user and what you all will probably see, there shouldn't be too many changes as far as the day-to-day operations. There might be some enhancements. The big thing though is with our utility network data and how we store that. So again, that's a lot of back-end stuff, but it does give us opportunities to improve efficiency of our overall workflows. That is to be determined what that looks like, because the possibilities are endless. I mean, if there are things that we determine we need to add to the system, we can. But there might be some more enhancements with how we use the utility data, whether that's being able to model capacities more or flows more. We sort of have the capabilities to do that now, but moving forward, that we should be primed to do things like that. But again, like I said, a lot of it is back end, but then a lot of it too is, it kind of opens up the possibilities for things that, we could accomplish with our GIS system.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. Other questions or comments? All right, seeing there are no more, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Quigley.
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Esserkon.
Aye.
Gantz.
Aye.
Hanson.
Aye.
Conager.
Aye.
Ledvina.
Aye.
P-Rock.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Item 26, Resolution 2549, ratifying contract with the Deep Police Benevolent Association 2024 through 2026.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Just wondering if this resolves all the outstanding issues that were being negotiated, and what the process is going to be with the back pay, because it looks like there's a 5% increase in wage going back to 2024.
Thank you. Shannon's out there. Shannon.
Mike.
Shannon, you're muted. We can't hear you on this end. Still muted.
There you go.
This should be good now.
Nope.
And
No.
She had it.
yeah, still not on, Shannon, but it seemed like for a brief second you were.
Just throw our arms up.
Anything on our end we can do?
She'll figure it
I don't
out.
think so, huh? Do you want to try handling any of this or not? You came in late on this one, so. Pam, do you want to try to step in and maybe you can answer something?
Why?
Something.
No.
Sure.
Okay.
So we also have the fire department contract that we're settling from
Yep.
22 to 23. So we're going to work on the back pay for that first.
Jeremy's.
And then we'll work on the back pay for this police department one.
Okay.
It's a lot of manual calculations with the back pay for prior years. So it's going to be kind of up to the time we have to do it. So I don't believe there's anything in the contract that requires us to have it done by a certain time, but we will work on that back pay for both unions.
And is it going to be like one lump sum then?
For that 1 year,
For that
yes.
1 year?
Yep, and then we'll do 25's back pay with a future payroll.
Okay.
And there was money set aside with that
Yeah.
each year, so you know that. Shannon, do you want to try?
Yes, I apologize. I've never had that happen.
Great.
Not sure quite what was
I'm
going
not
on
sure if
with
you
it.
did hear, but Pam did answer some, but you can also step in as well, too.
I did not hear, sorry. So, Jonathan, to answer your question, that does resolve all the negotiations that we have been working on for the last couple of years. So certainly, as you can imagine, I think everybody is pretty ecstatic that we finally got agreed to terms and could avoid interest arbitration hearing that we were supposed to go into this month. As far as back pay, the cost, as you probably recall, for 2024, we had budgeted a 3% increase for both police and fire across the board for wage increases. Obviously, that was done in July of 2023, and we hadn't even started negotiating yet. So certainly that was a best guess estimate as to what the total cost would be. If you recall, we did a 5% increase for non-represented employees because of market adjustments and cost of living increases went up substantially in 2024. So the unions were pretty set on they wanted to match what non-reps were for not only 1 year but 2 years. So certainly for 2024, we did a 5% increase. That's where we ended up. So certainly it's a 2% above what we budgeted. The total net impact will be about $350,000. That's certainly an estimate based on, current payroll and at a given time based on what employees have for benefits and whatnot. We will run that exact calculation. And if we are over budget as a whole and talking to the finance director, we will be coming back at the end of the year to do a budget amendment for asking for those additional funds. But certainly there's additional budget impact 2024. 2023, as you can see, we settled at a 3%, and that was budgeted, so that was right on target. And then 2026 budget process hasn't begun yet, but we did a 2-1 split. So total cost will be, like a 1.5 or 3% lift at the end of the year. So we're certainly, not envisioning that will be any major issue to the budget, and certainly we haven't gone through the budget process yet. But for 2024, we will have to likely do an adjustment.
Alderperson Nansen, good?
Yep.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? And we want to thank Shannon for her work on this and the attorneys. Obviously, there's two sides to all this, but this is a very lengthy process, and no one's more relieved that this is done than Shannon, obviously. Other questions or comments? We do have a motion in a second, correct? Mm-hmm. All right. That said, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Alderperson Carpenter,
Aye.
Estercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Cuniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley.
Aye.
That motion carries. Thank you. Item 27, Resolution 2550, ratifying contract with the DPMC Professional Firefighters Association, IAFF, local number 141 for 2024 to 2026. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Ledvina. Discussion or comments on this one? Alderperson Carpenter.
I noticed in the police contractors, red line things that were brought in there, there was nothing in the in the fire department, so I just want to so everything is all been okayed and everything. I'm just, because there was nothing in our packet.
Very good. Shannon, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear that. Yes, good question. The reason for that is, if you recall, just in February, and then, it was actually February, we brought to Finance Personnel Committee and then to Council the fire contract changes for the years 2022 to 2023, which had a number of different language changes in that contract. Because we just have been working on that, there wasn't the need to negotiate any additional language changes. We actually, just to give you an update, just as of today, we have that contract in final form, and went back and forth between us and the union a number of different times, even after we thought we had it in final form. There was some things that the union had brought up they wanted changed. Minor changes, nothing of detail, but we just sent it out to the union this afternoon for signature, and then once they sign off, we will go ahead and process back pay for those employees, and then obviously they're anxious to receive that. And then in addition to these changes being approved with both police and fire, we've already started working on putting the contract forward for both groups, and then the back pay will be processed for the years 2024 and what they obviously should receive for this year. So we will be doing payroll, we'll be doing lots of calculations, processing back pay, and some employees will be receiving some pretty large checks. So if you see a lot of people shopping around up here, we know why.
All good,
Thank you.
Alderperson Carpenter? Good question. Other questions or comments? All right. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Carpenter,
Aye.
Estercon,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Cuniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye. That motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Item 28, Resolution 2551, authorizing transfer of $23,000 from unassigned reserves to fund emergency sewer repairs at Fire Station Number 1.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Cuniger, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? All right, seeing there are none, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Essercon?
Aye.
Gantz?
Aye.
Hanson?
Aye.
Coniger?
Aye.
Ledvina?
Aye.
P-Rock?
Aye.
Quigley?
Aye.
Mayor Boyd?
Aye.
Carpenter?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item 29, Resolution 2552, appointing City Manager Kim Flum to Central Brown County Water Authority Board of Directors.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Cuniger, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Anything you want to say?
Thank you for the appointment.
No, you don't have it yet. We didn't. I might just scuttle the whole thing.
Now it can be anything.
Now, look at him, Alderperson Carpenter, he wants in. Alderperson Carpenter.
Yes, on the 98-81, where it's written up on our packet here, why is Ashwaubenon and Oneidas and some of these are not in our deal anymore, and then Denmark's not in it? I just was wondering, this is an awful old thing, and are you going to update this? If you read through it, you know, I'm just saying, it's nothing to say, I'm
was
not
the
against it,
original.
but it just thought this would be a great time, maybe this could be updated.
Yeah, so that was attached just for the authority and why we're doing a resolution to appoint Kim, essentially. As far as so this created the body. So
Yes.
I don't know when, if there's going to be any adjustments to it. The main purpose, the limited purpose for this was to provide the authority to appoint.
Right, this was created in
Particularly Kim.
2007, yes.
Right.
I just was saying it's not updated, and I was just
Right.
curious if it's going to get updated.
Right.
That's all. Thank you.
No, thank you. Good pickup. Other questions or comments? All right, seeing there are no more. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Gantz?
Aye.
Hanson?
Aye.
Coniger?
Aye.
Ledvina?
Aye.
P-Rock?
Aye.
Quigley?
Aye.
Mayor Boyd?
Aye.
Carpenter?
Aye.
Essercon?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Congratulations now officially. You're in, Kim. Item 30, appointments and reappointments to boards and commissions by Mayor Boyd.
So this is where we just toss out names?
Nope, this is just the boards and commissions. That's
Oh,
next.
yes, I got excited.
That's 31.
Yeah.
That is just fine. No, hold that excitement just for one more.
I'm going to make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Hanson. Discussion or comments on your appointments and reappointments? All right, seeing there are none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
See this one?
Now the fun begins. Item 31, elections of the Common Council. Can you click on that? I can't see when I'm up. Is it Council President first, right? Yes. All right. So elections by the Common Council. Up first, we have Council President. So at this time, I would entertain any nominations for Council President.
I will nominate Shana Ledvina.
We have a nomination by Alderperson Cuniger for Alderperson Ledvina.
I'll
Any other
second.
nominations? And we have a second on that by Alderperson Carpenter. Any other nominations while the nomination floor is opened? I'll declare the nominations closed and then make it official for council president. Normally, I'd have you give a little speech and stuff if we had a few people fighting for the job. Anything you'd like to say, or are you okay?
No, it would be an honor to serve everybody again. I mean, truly, we have probably the best council in this whole state of Wisconsin.
Oh,
But no, I mean it. I think that everybody up here is here for the right reason, and it really is a privilege to represent you guys like this. So thank you.
very good, thank you, and I think everyone kind of concurs with that as well. So it is closed, and now we can vote. Do we need a roll call on this or not?
No, if it's-
We will not roll call this. You can just indicate with approval by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Congratulations, Council President Ledvina.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Up next, then, we have nominations for the Plan Commission, right? I don't have this, but that's up next. Plan Commission. So we'll need two folks on Plan Commission from the council. So right now, I'll entertain any nominations for Plan Commission. Alderperson Ledvina.
I will nominate Alderperson Hanson.
We have a nomination for Alderperson Hanson.
Second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
So we have a nomination by Alderperson Ledvina for Alderperson Hanson, seconded. That one by Alderperson Carpenter. We'll need
No, I
as
did.
many as,
I did not.
oh, Alderperson P-Rock, my apologies.
Then do we do the second one?
We need,
You need a second one.
You can nominate a second one.
we can nominate a second one and go through the whole thing, and if we get three, then we'll figure out what to do from there. So we're kind of waiting for a second one. We need two.
I'll nominate Devin Pere.
We have a nomination for Alderperson P-Rock. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Alderperson Carpenter. So right now, we have two nominees on the floor for Planning Commission. We can have as many as 8, because I'm already on, so I'm out. Any additional nominations for Planning Commission do we have?
Have fun.
All right. That said, we only have two appointments that we need to make. So I think we can just go with the vote then. We will then vote on both of these. All those in favor for Alderperson, who do we have again? Hanson and Alderperson P-Rock for appointment to Plan Commission, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Another year. Welcome back to Alderperson P-Rock, who took a year off. So, thank you, everybody. Up next, future agenda items. Does anyone have anything? Alderperson Hanson.
So when we approved the new city manager form of government, staff told us at the time that the council president position had to get changed to deputy mayor, and apparently staff has now decided that we can keep the council president position, but the municipal code still does reference deputy mayor in the city manager chapter. So I think we need to get that updated so that it's consistent throughout the whole municipal code.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll have to look at the revamping certain portions of it and deciding where to go from there. So, but no disagreement here.
So then we'll bring that back. They'll look at it, and then obviously with Joanne as well, and then we'll bring that back.
Okay.
Thank you. Not sure where it would originate, finance or
Finance.
probably finance. But so we'll be on that. Thank you. Other questions or comments? I'm sorry, other future agenda items? All right, up next, I will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by me, second by Alderperson Ledna to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We're officially adjourned. Thank you, everybody.